Holy heck and a half, Trek fans. Y'all done showed up for my latest video on Paramount's new Star Trek releasing of Star Trek The Original Series Blu-ray set. 25,000 of you showed up on the video on this channel. And if you don't do YouTube, this is a brand new channel. It's a couple of months old. I'm just now hitting 1,000 subscribers, and 25,000 people had something to say about Paramount releasing a Blu-ray set. And all I did in this video was ask, does the releasing of physical media say something about the state of Paramount, but also the state of Trek? And man, y'all had stuff to say.
This baby hits 88 miles per hour. You're gonna see some serious shit.
Whoa. Have you ever had a dream, Neo, that you were so sure was real? What if you were unable to wake from that dream?
So say we all.
Your father was captain of a starship for 12 minutes. He saved 800 lives.
Engage.
The consensus is pretty clear. Everyone is asking, okay, you're releasing Star Trek The Original Series again. Where the heck is Voyager and DS9? Where's their updated releases? Why Star Trek The Original Series again when we all just bought it not that long ago? And it's true. Very true. But the question is physical media making a comeback? Is this proof that physical media is coming back? And maybe streaming is, I don't want to say it's on its way out because it's still more popular than ever. But is there at least a little bit of a correction, a pendulum swing back to actually owning our content? I actually found this really cool article from the LA Times discussing how DVDs are the new vinyl records, why Gen Z is embracing physical media. You know, I made a comment in that previous video, which hopefully you saw, about the release of Star Trek The Original Series, about how I was at an antique store that had all these VHS tapes, and there was this young couple carrying like an arm filled with VHS tapes and some DVDs up to the counter. And I stopped and asked them, I said, wow, you guys are, buying physical media? And they said, yes. And just as you guys commented on my last video, streaming services are notorious for either editing or removing episodes. So buying physical media is the only way you can actually own it. Gen Z is reviving DVDs and Blu-rays, with video rental shops reporting record months and membership numbers as young people embrace physical media. Physical media sales declined just 9% in 2025 compared to drops of over 20% in 2023 and 24, marking a dramatic shift in a shrinking market. Young customers cite frustration with subscription fatigue and content scattered across platforms, viewing physical media ownership as a form of cultural rebellion. Now listen, let's be honest here. The audience on this channel, including this handsome guy who's making the content, we're old, okay? Most of us are in our 40s to 60 plus. Okay, I see the demographics from the people that watch my channel, and that's great. This is who I'm making the content for. But when it comes to movies and that sort of content, that market used to be driven by the younger audience, right? The teens, the tweens, and that's what really drove ticket sales in the movie theaters. And in the 80s and 90s, when home video became a thing, especially with DVDs, because DVDs actually became cheaper to produce. That's why if you look back at some old commercials for VHS tapes, those movies still costed $25. And you're talking back in the 80s. Whereas DVDs, it was easier to lower the price or at least maintain the same price. They usually come out for like $20 brand new. So you're talking about 10, 15 years of a $20 price tag on the same product, which when you take inflation into account means the price is actually lowering. The point is that the home video market had supported filmmaking in the industry so heavily. It was a pillar, and it's what allowed the mid-tier budget films to be created. Think about some of your favorite non-studio blockbuster films from the 90s, right? Your favorite more independent films, the smaller films that did well. There was so many of them back in the day. Those movies don't get created anymore because the home video market is what paid for that. And now everything is on a streaming service, and the streaming just doesn't support that type of filmmaking, which is sad. So now you only get these tentpole movies like Avengers and superheroes and 1 or 2 movies a year, and that's it. Where are the rest of the movies? It was the home video market, the DVDs and Blu-rays, that really supported all the mid-tier budget. One thing I asked in this video about the Star Trek Blu-ray re-release for the 60th anniversary is, does Paramount investing money into the box set show that there's a future for Star Trek? And the answer has to be yes, because according to this article, Paramount's probably not even going to make that much. And a lot of you are asking too, like, well, are they really investing that much money into this Blu-ray box set? And yeah, this is costing them money. The way it works, Paramount is not a DVD or Blu-ray manufacturer and distributor. This is all done through a third party. So they had to invest in obviously creating the extra crap that went into this, but also to distribute it. You know, they're paying a third-party vendor, and that third-party vendor is going to have to make their profits for manufacturing and distributing it to stores and online retailers and all that crap. So yeah, they are investing in. Are they investing a lot? I mean, that's a relative question. What is a lot? Did they save money by just reusing the data files from the last Blu-ray release? Come on, yeah, probably. I didn't. Why wouldn't they? Is it just a cash grab? Yeah, it's just a cash grab, but it's a good thing because Paramount sees that there's an audience that is craving good Star Trek. This video is brought to you by TraderBubba.com, where I've got all sorts of fun new stuff, including caca bacon. You can smell the difference, and that's the caca. Check out the Cousin Emmy page, my wife's favorite, the acai berry supplements. All proceeds do go to the GoFundMe for Cousin Emmy, whose husband was in the hospital recently, just before she's about to go into the hospital and give birth to their firstborn. Trying to get 100 people to donate on the GoFundMe, and if you donate, leave a comment on the GoFundMe page, and I'll reach out to you and send you this Cousin Emmy refrigerator magnet. If Paramount sees that there's an audience for this, then that's a good, hopeful sign that we're going to get future Star Trek, be it movies. And I know they announced, oh, we're making a new Star Trek movie. They've announced that numerous times without it ever coming to fruition. Obviously, Star Trek TV is kind of dead right now. Alex Kurtzman is out, and I know a lot of you are happy about that. I'm not going to get into that here, but this is hopeful that while there might be a little bit of a pause with new Trek, whatever that is, that there's hope that if they're investing money into this and they can still see that there's an audience and a profit for it, we're going to get something in the near future in the form of either a movie or a TV series. Hopefully this Blu-ray box set release is a sign that Paramount sees that there's an audience, they're willing to spend some money, and we will continue to get new Trek, because Star Trek is important, not just because it's a fun thing to watch and we enjoy it, but it's good classic storytelling. When Star Trek is at its best, it is a mirror being turned onto us as a people, as a society, as a country, and as a world. And it's the best storytelling there is. It's science fiction as a tool to ask some pretty hard questions and for us to discuss, is this who we are and where we want to be right now? Can we achieve what Star Trek is asking us to achieve? That is why Star Trek is important. Yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff in there that doesn't always ask these questions or get preachy. There's a lot of great adventure episodes, and it's pure entertainment, and that's important too. But Star Trek is one of those storytelling devices, storytelling universes that needs to survive, that needs to hit that next generation because it inspires people.
I got a fan letter from a young lady. It was a suicide note. I called her. I said, hey, this is Jimmy Doohan, Scotty of Star Trek. I said, I'm doing a convention in Indianapolis. I want to see you there. And 2 weeks from then, in something, you know, and then eventually she also came to New York. She was able to afford to go to these places and everything else. So, and then that went on for 2 or 3 years, maybe 18 times. And all I did was talk positive things to her. I get a letter saying, I do want to thank you so much for what you did for me, because I just got my master's degree in electronic engineering. You know, that's, to me, the best thing I've ever done in my life.
When I hit 1,000 subs, I'm going to be doing a giveaway, and giving away this. I'm giving her all she's got, Captain shirt. If you don't feel like waiting, the shirt's available at TraderBubba.com. Proceeds go to charity. Right now, proceeds will be going to the support Cousin Emmy's family through medical crisis GoFundMe. For more information, click the link down below. TraderBubba.com, discount code in the description.
Hello. luck with the giveaway. Mwah! Bye!